I'll keep doubling, you keep bluffing, you've got nothing, I'll keep hustling.
Yo guys, good day, welcome back. Yesterday was Workers' Day, so yeah, you were off. I hope you enjoyed your Workers' Day. For the rest of us, including me, spent some time with family, friends on the beach. How better and how good does it get? Like, how does it get better than that? Huh? So what are we going to talk about today? Bitcoin. So it's in our buy zone. We've been waiting for this thing to get there since March the 18th. I gave you guys the analysis. And 2 days ago, we came around and I said, new plan. There's an alternative buy zone. And as a result of that, we're in that alternative buy zone. Let's take away the audio. It's too much audio there. So now today, I want to look at that buy zone. I want to look at the price action in that area. And the FOMC information is out. So we need to look at the FOMC information and then define whether all the alts that's in our buy zones are buys or trades. Buys for hodl, long term, or trades, meaning we keep them, but we get out once we hit resistance. Okay, so that's what we need to do. Just like that time, we bought there, got out there. Now we need to define whether this buy is the same thing. Okay, so busy day. You guys know what to do. Do your hodl bags a favor and subscribe today. Double down, hit that like and notification icon, and let's get charting. So I see Damon is hijacking me again. I'm ahead of you, buddy. I'm way ahead of you. Come on. Let's get back here. Come on. I've got so many ticks. Go to my profile there. I'm way ahead of you, my friend. Charlie 3's not even listening. And I've got a Charlie 3 chart ready for us as well. So, but yes, come on, fly a little bit more. So there you have it, guys. It's in CoinStore. And let's see. Hopefully, it's not going to be the first. It needs to be more, Damon. So, but we'll chat on that topic. So there you have it, guys. Let's get back to the business at hand for now, whether our buying the dips were really good. So I'm not going to dive into how we got the buy. I've explained that many times. If you want to know how I got that out of nothing, go and have a look at the previous videos. But what is important now is whether this buy is going to hold. This is the critical thing here, whether the buy is going to hold. And I want to first show you guys this. So if we zoom out a little bit, I pointed out to you guys every time price does the following with the supply and demand waves. Once price creates a gap, it traps price there in the future. Once price creates a gap, it traps price there in the future. Okay, that's how the market is almost, like I say, it's not predictable, but you've got these destinations. Okay, and once you have these gaps all marked out, you can always say to yourself, you know where price is going to want to be. So when you have these destinations, it makes it easier for you to kind of guess where price is going to go next. And when you take profits, kind of support the fact that, hey, we took some really good gains out of this right in the beginning. Now I've lost my tweet thread that I wanted to show, but we got out nicely. We sold there again after that buy. And so forth. So, and that's exactly how this works. So looking at this gap here, and I explained to you guys long ago, when we get into this area, price is probably going to get trapped. So let's mark this out and let's move this over. And price didn't get trapped. Now, the shitty thing about technical analysis is when you say something and it does completely the opposite thing. And that's the reality. Everything's got a failure rate. But the truth behind it is still there. Price will go and still try and fill that gap, that trade gap. And that's what we're doing at this moment. So a confluential layer to what we have is the fact that price is trying to fill that. So we can adjust the upper end of the supply wave, which lines up with the bottom of this demand wave. And then we can say, let's adjust this and say, right, that would be the upper end. So price would potentially spend some time here before it decides whether it wants to go further higher or further lower. And if it wants to go lower, the area that it's going to want to go to is it's going to want to jump this zone, and it's probably going to want to trade within this zone. There's a gap there, so let's tweak those lines. There's a little gap there. Now, the fact that that supply is there makes this a little iffy, so we could potentially do this. But for now, let's just leave that line there as it is. Okay, so now we know where we're at. But the important thing is, guys, take note. I didn't just plan, I bought the dip. Okay, this is the dip. Okay, so if you haven't bought yet, we're still there. Okay, your risk is just a little more than mine, but this is all calculated risk because the invalidation for the buy the dip sits there at 53.8. So you need to stomach a little bit of drawback or drawdown should you want to buy. Now that we have that, okay, now we can start thinking about trend versus momentum. So the first thing is, when I talk trend, we need to start breaking bearish trends. And in order for that to happen, we need to look at the 4-hour time frame. And the 4-hour time frame, we've broken the bearish trend. So it doesn't necessarily mean that we cannot do this or find a reason to do this again. But I mean, I don't want to try and get ahead of ourselves. First thing, this insane momentum we had 2 days ago, that has now been broken. Okay. Second thing, bring in the oscillator. So on the 4-hour, the oscillator is turning bullish, but it's very, I want to say very vague in a sense. There's a low, there's a lower low. Look at that low. It's bouncing. Look at that low, and there's a higher low. Strong bullish divergence around that pivot. Got above the thou shall not cross line for the bearish side of things. Tested it, and we're off. This was where we were this morning. So at the end of the day, or yesterday morning, so in the end of the day, we are looking at turning the tide. But the key here is this entire move has to have price get above that 23.6, which it is at the moment, but we would want to try and get above that point and delete the what? The hidden bullish divergence. Hidden bearish, hidden bearish, why? That's what we need to do. So you would want to see in this area, from where we are now, 58,000 to at least 60,000. What would I want to see? Some reason that they will be buying. Now, there's two ways. People saying, I want to buy, or people saying, oh shit, I shorted too late, I maybe need to get out. That's a buy as well. So if we head over to our liquidation map, you can see where we're at now. There's very little liquidity between that range. So let's quickly just define those values. 59, 61. So if you go back to liquidity, 59, 61, you can see there's a little bit of a liquidity gap there. So that area could just as well be price jumps to that zone and then find a reason to go lower. So what do we want to see happen? Okay, obviously want to see stuff go up. So if we move into the zone, there's going to be hidden bearish divergence. And in order for us to really get the bottom being in, what do we need to do? We need to start going 62, 63, 64, because then we're going to delete the divergence. And if we take this back to our chart, that's there. So we need to get above this ray. So this is the area. If you're uber bearish, where's the really bearish guys with their 50K comments? Where I don't see them on the stream. They'll probably come in later. If you're one of those guys, it's 50K, that's your time to short this range, the hidden bearish divergence, because you don't want the price to go and sweep out the bear liquidity to go lower. So that's what you want to try and do. So there's always two sides to the story, and there's always, two sides to any trade. You can't have one without the other. You can't have a buy without a sell and a sell without a buy. So that is potentially what we need to be waiting for. Now, this is 4-hour, guys. A lot can happen on the 4-hour. If you're new and you're uncertain, the daily is where you're at. And where the daily is at, bring back the candles. there's not a lot. It's just a buy and you're just waiting, and this is your invalidation. But now everybody wants a good reason why to buy. We always just want to make sure that we can reason why we're taking risk. Headed over to the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, bring in the RSI. I want to show you this. This should excite you. Lower low from this area to there, higher low. This still means that Bitcoin remains bullish from 40 to where it's at now. So this whole area can be a hunting ground for us to be bullish. But we now know, I've just showed you earlier where the potential traps could be. So if we're wrong, if we fail, if we go lower, we know where to go and catch price. Okay, so there you have it for BTC, guys. Now that means that because we're in a buy zone, some of our alts are really going to start doing well as well. Why? Because they so oversold. I'm excited. I'm really, I wish my face and my tone of voice could communicate the way I feel about the alts and the dip and what is going to come our way next. But I'll let the charts do the talking because I'm not an influencer. I'm not trying to sell you bullshit. Let's look at this. I want to show you this chart. Okay. Altseason is pending on following. Bitcoin goes up, dominance goes down. Now, what I want to say to you guys is that this was the thou shall not cross for the Bitcoin dominance. If we can get below that line, this macro bearish divergence on the dominance has then played out. This means that Bitcoin needs to bounce and the dominance needs to start selling off. And then we're going to be looking really pretty. Then we're buying a really good bargain. So in light of everything I said to you guys, it's worthwhile to deploy funds to buy stuff. Risk to buying something is at an all-time low at the moment, guys. Now is the time to grab that because of the dominance. Now, what else do I have to kind of support the fact that maybe shit's going to go up now? This. FOMC stuff came out. FOMC yesterday. Where we are yesterday. There we go. Okay, the funds rate. And it came out unchanged. But Powell said because inflation is coming down, they feel like they are achieving their soft landing. And it might be a situation that they're going to start reducing the rates. This means that there's going to be a pivot. So Fed pivots, we now know what to do next. We are ahead of the curve. People are forgetting about this. Once the Fed pivots, there's a monetary policy change, okay? Look at where the stock market is. Once the pivot happens, the stock market goes ballistic and then burns itself out. Recession. Fed pivot. This one is the only one scenario where it kind of didn't play out the same. Fed pivots, stock market goes up ballistic and then burns itself out. Fed pivot, stock market goes up ballistic and then burns itself out. And then when it burns itself out, recession, 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 recession. So all that excitement that, things are going to get easier is just going to add fuel to the fire that might ignite us for the next few months, even to a year. The fact that it's an election year is also a big thing because we know the US don't want a bad economy during an election year. So you can see that there's already speculations around the fact that the rates might drop. And if that happens, the pivot is in play. And then we know we're on borrowed time. We are now going to go and hunt for all-time highs, high bullish pressure, but then you need to get the fuck out. Simple as that. Because if you don't, you're going to get trapped riding the wave back down again. Okay, so that's a bullish sign. What else is a bullish sign? So if you look at the Dixie, because of that, people are positioning themselves to maybe short the market, whatever the case might be. We know that when the Dixie is at a high, you get a bear bottom. When the Dixie starts trending down, you get a bull top. Bear bottom, bull top, bear bottom. Where's our bull top going to be? So what would be amazing is if this Dixie starts falling back down to this range, loses this area, breaks this trend, then we can have an immensely bullish Bitcoin. Okay. Now, that's far ahead of us. Let's not try and get too far, but these are things that you need to be looking at. Okay. In addition to this, let's take a quick look at the the Dow Jones, holding strong. S&P 500, holding strong. I said, this bearish divergence, ignore it. It's a bullish signal. Until we fall below that red line, you need to be bullish. NASDAQ, holding strong. So the fact that Bitcoin is testing the bottom of the range, testing our buys on alternative buys in, is bullish after all. All this is bullish, which brings us to the next side, the alts. Okay, guys, so if you want to get in on the alts, I'm going to show you a few tips. Okay, before we do that, however, today's video is brought to you through Prime. I see it's not loading. My computer is seems like be on holiday as well. Open your Prime account today, guys. If you do that, head over to the Discord and go get a free trial. What that does is, if you've opened your Prime account, you funded it with some trade capital, you can claim your access, and that actually unlocks everything in the Discord. In the mornings, we have our market tactics videos where we actually scan the markets, look for trade setups, and so forth, and so forth, and so forth. So if you want to be in on this, same with the spot, the investment, the hodl bags, you want to get the information, you want to get more juicy information, unlimited by time, that's the place to go. Go get your Prime account today. Okay, so now to get to our alts. This is a fair question, Jockey. No, don't wait for anything to pivot. You're using technical analysis to define where the risk is. That's it. That's it. Don't wait for pivot, because pivot is, what if the pivot doesn't come and Bitcoin's at 70? What if the pivot only comes in 6 months from now? You lost the whole bull cycle. So you'd never wait for nothing. That's why we use technical analysis. It actually makes it very simple. TA says that's the best area for a buy, irrespective of how bearish people felt. And you were there. You know how bearish people felt. Why the hell is this bouncing then? Everybody was expecting 50. So you kind of see the argument. Okay. So here's something from Nelson. We are now expecting a cut in the fourth quarter. Also, doesn't the market need to go back to yesterday's low at least once? Last shakeout of fearful. No, it doesn't need to do that, Nelson. I would love it if it does that, but the reality is the shakeout necessarily, when it's a big, massive, painful event, gets tested 50%. That's how crazy the extent is. Now, why is that? Have you ever thought about that? That's the big question. Why does this work? Okay, simple. I'm going to explain this to you. When we're in this area, dynamic traders enter the market. Wicks like those, okay? When we're in those areas, dynamic traders enter the market. And the way they do that is by market executing on a bargain. Great deal. Let's get our asses in. Let's absorb the loss. But then they can't take profit necessarily off their successful buys. So what they do is they litter this zone where they bought with additional limit orders. So market executed orders get me in at any price. Just buy me in until I'm in. Limit orders, this speeds up market, gives you momentum. Now a limit order supports the market order. Okay, so it supports that demand zone that's there, but it slows the market down. So it protects their order. That's 50% of the wick. So they're using this area, they're propping up the bottom and selling off the top to try and switch the tide, get the supply on the wrong side of the market. Let the hodlers hold this so that we can buy it back from them at a bargain. That's basically how it works. So what's true is there is going to be true for what happens here. Now, just full disclosure, this can fail as well. Not all strategies always play out. Same for them as well. We've now had market executed sell-off. So at some stage, price can come back and test this for the daily. What if that held? Then we were off to the races. You get where I'm at with that. Doesn't necessarily need to always shake more people out, because then it becomes almost like a... The way that I'm trying to say, if you're always going to play that everybody always has to lose, then it's almost like a nobody ever going to win. So the market's never ever going to trend in the other direction or turn tides. It's Kind of like that. I'm trying to word it. So yes, potential, but don't let that catch you. Now's the time to deploy. Simple as that. Okay, 4 hour, giving me early signs of that. Upper end of the range, wait for the lower end of the range. This is still the deploying area. There's your invalidation. Simple as that. Okay. So I hope that kind of answers your question there, Nelson. Let's head over to the alts now. So Ethereum in the buy zone, I'm going to point out why I'm excited. Hidden bullish divergence. Yes, we can do this and this and this and this, but forget about that now. Don't try and look too far ahead of yourself. We're in the buy zone, hidden bullish divergence. Solana, I gave you guys the wick. If you bought the wick, at some stage you would feel like shit, but now you're already up 7% for the day. Okay. Break that trend. Let's go. Okay. AVAX. Wick. Let's go. Matic. It didn't quite go to the wick, but it's there. Break this momentum and we can go. Now it's already on the other side of that in a way. Let's go. Bitcoin Cash. I ain't touching this thing. Why? Because the momentum is so strong. That's the buy zone. I'm still waiting for that until it changes its way of movement. Then I'll change my mind. Okay. XRP didn't make the higher highs. Explain to you guys. I'm not going to add, not going to do anything. It's sitting back in this area. Wait for that wick. Dot. Already breaking out 50% of the wick. Neo. Lost the 23.6. We're going to come back to this area here at around $13. Link. 50% of the wick. Now we need to get out of that trend line to start going for higher highs. Okay. Uni. Didn't quite tag the wick. It was so close. But this is a spot buy. You're not always going to get it ideally on the line. Okay. Litecoin in the buy zone. Dogecoin, bottom of the buy zone. The worry with this one is it could potentially go lower. This is the only one that I'm really uncomfortable with, to be honest with you guys. Cardano, 50% of the wick. BNB, okay. What do I want to see? That was the sell zone for more. We're holding the 23.6. This thing is bullish. But if you lose the 23.6, it's like Bitcoin at the moment, then we're going to potentially go 482. And then I would look to decide what I want to do with BNB. Okay. Telos, back in that range. Probably 28 cents. Can still go down a little bit. Fantom, 50% of the wick in the buy zone. And then comp. Went right back to that midpoint of the range. Didn't quite go that low, but that's where I wanted to buy it. So there you go. Okay. You can have a look at SEA or SEI. Sold there. Has not gone there yet. Be patient. Wait for that. Unless it changes trend, but it's already broken the bearish trend. But I would still wait for around 46 cents. Okay. Filecoin, 50% of the wick. It's ready. We want to go. Okay. Manta. This one's exciting. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. What do we want to do here? Price needs to now do what? Get above these pivots. Once it does that, you can look to add. Really good buy this. Okay. Sui in the buy zone. Aleph 0. It fucking screwed us, guys. This thing's going to go down. Centrifuge. Okay. Tested our buy. That was the area I initially thought it's going to hold. This isn't a buy. I didn't give you guys this as a buy zone, but I haven't sold any centrifuge. And it's looking really good. So, just to show you guys, momentum. Hey, if it can get through this area, later on we might still go 55. Grab it then. Okay. Luxos. This is another one that failed miserably. I'm liking it though. I'm not buying it just yet. I'm just going to keep an eye on this one, but I think there's some big stuff going to come our way. Ape failed. We wanted to buy there for the breakout. And I said, well, potentially we can go low as 70 cents. Now it's currently holding around $1. Dollar is a psychological level, so it should be well. It went to about 50% of the wick. Same analysis. Look at that RSI. Don't have divergence just yet. Maybe a little bit more pressure. So I'm just going to kind of hold off on Ape again. Why as well? Look at this momentum. Price broke out. Okay, so now just tell me that you're willing to start trending up. There's a lot of lines. If it's confusing, I'm going to now take away the old failures. I'm just going to leave it clean for you. So let's just give it a little bit of time, because this is still so blooming early for massive gains there. Okay. ERG. Argument was, if you lose 23.6, we can go mid-range, and we went a little bit lower. Strong bullish divergence is there. It's a buy at the moment, guys. But you buy, you want to try and get above there. So that's the key line now. So if it hovers around resistance and you make a lower low, get out. Then you know it's going to go lower. Okay. Bonk. Okay, continuation, 38.2. Higher high. Bonk's good to go. This thing's going to start making headlines. Memes are really hot at the moment. OP went to our buy zone. It's at resistance. So just break out. Well, we've got hidden bearish divergence at that point though. So anywhere from here to up there, you're going to have a lot of selling pressure in the market. So even if it goes higher, expect the retrace. At that stage, OP could still come back to around 2.4 thereabout. There's the continuation. Okay. But OP looks really good. Okay. Welcome. Still not gone to my buy zone. It's creeping there slowly but surely. It's not there yet, but it's going to make us a killing at some stage. Okay, Kaspa. Okay, at the buy area. Let's wait and see if it breaks out, and keep an eye on this momentum. So what do we have? Strong bullish divergence. Okay, I want to see it break this, maybe get above it, and once we're out of this trend, yes, then we're going to start move. Why is there no guarantee? Well, you're taking on risk. It needs to hold there. Where would the stop be? There. That's quite low. So you need to be able to absorb that amount of risk. Okay. GS Wi-Fi in the buy zone, filling the gap finally. This is still not ready, so it's probably going to still run, but start getting ready on this one, because this is going to do what? It's going to be your next massive multiplier. There it made 1,000%. Next time around, it's going to do exactly the same. Keep an eye on that one. Okay. Then H bar. Okay. Tagged our buy off the nice high. Give it some time. Liquidity trap there. It's a little messy, so you could still test the bottom end around 8 cents. But that's it, guys. Really good accumulation. Shakeout. Trapped a lot of liquidity up here. Back in this area. The best example that I can say for this is, think about Loop. Okay, what did Loop do? We bought it there. It went to TP in 2 days, came right back. Bought it again, went to TP again. And now it's still consolidating within that range. Okay, same thing. Same kind of play on this one. Okay, then ordinals, big one here. Ordinals. Finally in the buy zone. Ordi in my buy zone. Sats in my buy zone. Mobi. This was our buy. This was for the continuation. It's now breaking trend. So now it's also trying to consolidate. I won't buy just yet. I'm at break even. I didn't take too much profit yet. So it's a shitty one. But I'm just going to keep an eye on this one. Realistically, maybe still 7.8 cents, thereabout. Okay. Then this one, it's filled this gap in that area. No divergence just yet, so don't just blindly buy. We're going to keep an eye on them, but I want to bring them to your attention now, guys, because these are getting poised. They're going to be big movers when they move, okay? And we also looked at Sol Chat. I said there would be a good area, but now it's there. It's below this area. Don't buy Sol Chat, please. Don't buy it from my point of view, okay? There you have it. Okay. That's everything I have time for today. I want to start bringing in, because we're now moving into a new phase where alts are going to definitely start kicking in. We need to start looking at fundamentals now. Technical analysis is one side, but now we need to start bringing in new projects based on fundamental reasons to buy with some pumpamentals behind them. So, if we always going to look at this exchanges and what's listed there, those ones we can navigate the risk nicely, but with a fundamental buy, there's no stop, there's no nothing. You're taking something and you're throwing it in there and you're seeing what it wants to do. So just remember that, okay? Now, bike climb. Do you think Banter team is waiting for a lower gummy? Buddy, it's a meme coin. I'm just going to stop thinking about the team. Just think about the coin on a technical point of view. Whether it's a scam or not a scam coin, where it's got great fundamentals or not, it's a coin. There's emotions. They all have this. They all have this. So that's what technical analysis does. It's just trying to look at that. So I want you to consider that. Okay, so when we look at this, now let's bring up Gummy for that matter. I don't even know how big a deal this is, to be honest with you. It's on Mexi. Let's quickly have a look at Gummy on Mexi. Daily, nothing. I mean, if this was on the buy bet list, the wait list, I'd just say wait, just wait. It's probably going to go sweep lows. 4 hour, let's see if there's anything on 4 hour. Nothing just yet. Okay, so sorry, there's nothing until we go and sweep lows. Probably not. There's a lot of price manipulation happening in there, limit orders slowing price down, so you can assume that 10 cents is being supported by whom, whatever. I don't care. It's not for us to speculate on that. We know manipulation is our friend. That's the beauty about this. From a 1 hour point of view, one can argue the trend is broken and that we're going to try and hold on higher. But now you need to see that success is going to be the undoing of this. Going to do this and do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you're looking at that, we're looking at this. We need to probably get above that range pretty quick. And then that would be our next resistance range. So then you're looking at this. So if it breaks out, that's going to be the area where price is going to want to try and find another floor. So there you have it. Okay. Let's quickly do OM. And then what's my opinion on the 2-month candle which Bitcoin printed? Well, that's maybe I think a more pertinent question. Let's go and have a look at the 2-month candle. I tend to look at the 3-month, to be honest with you, not necessarily the 2-month. I need to create a 2-month. How do you do this again? There we go. Okay, there's a 2-month. Okay, so what do I think about the 2 months? The fact that we're above the 23.6 is bullish. The fact that we have a complete doji is bearish. But what is the important thing here? This specific one doesn't have it. The divergence that's there, okay? The divergence that's there. So for me, whether it's 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, I don't want to see us trade below that line, meaning or close below that line, meaning any monthlies close below, open and close. Let's get the wording right. Open, so it needs to be the first of the month and we're below that. And then it needs to be the end of that month and still below that line. That's it. That's how we got out Bitcoin on the daily. All right. So until that happens, it's bullish, irrespective. There's also talks about engulfing, guys. Engulfing, you can argue that this candle engulfed that candle, but that candle is all part of this one move. Don't believe me? If you look at this in the weekly, it's one move. So for me, that is a bearish engulfing candle needs to engulf all of this. One move, or at least this pivot. Okay, so I won't go that route as well. The weekly is where it's at. Okay, 3 days, 11 hours. So tomorrow we'll have even a better idea. If we close the weekly there, it's going to be hell of a bullish. We're going to go quickly. Okay, that's the key here, guys. So remember that. Okay. So in conclusion, the tile today says, as soon as possible. It's clickbait bullshit, okay? You guys know me by now. You know how we do these streams, okay? The reality is no good buy is done in a hurry. Never, ever, ever. If it's done in a hurry, you're doing it wrong, okay? We're letting the market find its floor. We planned for this buy zone since forever, okay? So the fact that it's here, we should have then also known that things would look bearish, because if a good buy zone, it has to be bearish. So it's got everything that we want to see. The alts, I've gone through a hell of a lot of them. They all look really good from a risk point of view. They look good from a risk point of view. They look bearish from a user sentiment point of view. There's no denying that. But the risk is good at the moment. That's why we want to grab it. Okay. So try and just compartmentalize your sentiment and your risk. Two different things. Great project, great sentiment, bad risk. Because it can dump forever and still be bullish. We don't want to be in those. Where we are now, great project, bad sentiment, great risk. Okay. It doesn't need to dump far before we can say, okay, hey, maybe we need to rethink our strategies. Okay. Don't forget to chart this Charlie 3s. Yes. So Charlie 3. Okay. So this is my Charlie 3 chart. We've got a long sideways accumulation. The big points is $2.40, $3. Will it make a higher high this bear market? I don't know. If I'm going to be brutally honest, there needs to be a hell of a lot more development on the Cardano network. Cardano has to really start doing some headlining. You know, everybody needs to buzz in the Cardano sector. That will bring liquidity to this. If that doesn't happen this bull cycle, Charlie 3 won't necessarily do anything, but, you know, won't necessarily go make a high high. Same for AZERO or any other Cardano project. That's one bull cycle old. I don't make up the rules. That's just the fundamentals behind that. Okay. But what I do know, and I know this to be true. Long sideways accumulation, guys. You don't need a degree to know this. Effort versus result. This amount of effort is going to give you that amount of result. Always. Effort versus result. So $2, $2.35, I'm going to start laddering out. That's me. That's my target. So anywhere where we are now is a buy for me because, well, I can't. I already own enough. But anywhere within this range is a buy. And the most probable areas to buy is when we're at the bottom of the range. Because then we're going to step and we're going to move out and then we're going to go. Where it's at now, really good time to buy. Okay. There you have it, guys. Okay. Thanks for listening. Let's see. Kusama, there's always tomorrow, guys. Don't wait. Don't act in a hurry. Stunko's asking about Ample. We can do that tomorrow as well. Let's see. Can doubles? Yes, we can also do that tomorrow. There you have it. Listen to JJ Doc. He says, thanks. He's going to be here for tomorrow's stream as well. So thanks, JJ Doc. Guys, thanks for taking the time, spending some time with me on YouTube, especially in this dicey time for those that weren't prepared. Yeah, trader-wise, I've got some nice trade setups that I want to share with everybody in the Discord as well. So you know what to do. You know where to find me. Everything else is bullish. I'm just excited. It doesn't look that way, but I'm one hell of a lot of excitement because it's about to happen, guys. Things are about to start kicking into high gear. Two conditions have been met. Bitcoin has passed its all-time high. It's not at that just yet, okay? And it's past its halving. This is the hard one. So, Altseason, moon, retirement. Okay, that's what I want to try and do. Altseason, moon, and retirement. Come on, who doesn't want that? Thanks so much, guys. See you tomorrow. Those that haven't charted your coins, come back, please, or head over to the Discord. There's dedicated chart channels in there, and they will take this further. You have a lovely day. Keep hustling, my friends.
I'll keep hustling.
Subscribe now.